Hey, what's up, guys? And welcome back to 145. For today's episode, I wanted to talk to you guys about the preparations I did before I started this whole training block. We will also go a little bit into detail of the first 3 runs that I did this week, and we will also go through whatever difficulties I faced during those first 3 runs. I did 2 main things to prepare going into this training block. First, I wanted to see where my current fitness level is at, which is why I did 2 speed workouts. Second, I bought the food and the necessary supplements that would get me through the first weeks of this training block. So I did 2 speed workouts. Number one was 12 times 400 meter repeats interval training at the 420 pace. This is pretty much how the workout looks like. I started with a 2K warm-up, followed by 6 times 400 meter repeats at a 420 pace. In between those intervals, I had a recovery time of 2 minutes just to get my heart rate down a little bit. After the first 6 repeats, I had a 5-minute break to get my heart rate all the way down again. After the 5-minute recovery, I did 6 more repeats of 400 meters at a pace of 4 minutes and 20 seconds. And to finish the workout, I did 2 kilometers just to cool down. Overall, I actually felt good. I started off a little slower because I wanted to pace myself. After I ran the first 400 meters at 4 minute and 25 pace, I started going too fast, and pretty much the next 4 to 5 400 meter repeats, I was just going way too fast, almost at the 4-minute mark. At the second half of this workout, I was actually finding my rhythm and I was hitting the 420 pace actually pretty well. Another workout I did just to see where my fitness level is at before I start this whole training block was a 5K time trial. As I mentioned in episode 1, my 5K PB is 25 minutes and 26 seconds. And for this time trial, I was actually aiming to go for a sub 25 minutes 5K. I started with a easy warm-up of 1 kilometer, and then I went straight into it. It wasn't really cold on that day, but it was a little bit windy, but that cold wind made it a little bit uncomfortable to do this run. But overall, I actually felt good until the 3K mark. I noticed hitting the 3K mark that my pace was slowing down, my body was feeling a little bit exhausted, but we still actually managed. So here are my splits. Kilometer 1 and kilometer 2, I ran at 4 minutes and 56 seconds. Halfway point, I was at 12 minutes and 24 seconds. As I mentioned, I noticed that I was slowing down at the 3K mark, and that's when I tried to make sure that I keep up the pace without going too hard. So I finished the 4th kilometer within 4 minutes and 55 seconds. And my last split time is 4 minutes and 52 seconds, which is a new PB of 24 minutes and 36 seconds. Great success!
A great success!
So overall, I was just glad that my fitness level was there. Just for you to know, 5 minutes per kilometer is the actual goal pace that I'm aiming for this half marathon. Before I did this workout, I wasn't sure if I'm going to be able to keep this pace for 5 kilometers because in the past I was only able to run this for maybe 2 kilometers and then I would get exhausted and I couldn't go any further. But hitting this new PB of 24 minutes and 36 seconds got me really hyped to go into this training block. Other than those 2 workouts, I wanted to make sure that I have all the supplements and the food that I need. I got dates, bread, honey, bananas, peanut butter, and supplement wise, I got gels, electrolyte drinks. I actually got a new electrolyte drink that I wanted to try out, but we'll be talking about supplements in a different episode. I honestly think I might have overdone it, but I just wanted to make sure that I have everything at home just to fuel my body properly starting from week 1. Which brings us to week 1 and the challenges that I faced. Starting this training block, I knew my daily life and my other obligations would get in the way with my training, but I wanted to make sure to create a routine where I can find a balance between my work life, private life, and this training block. So with that being said, there was one instance where someone woke us up at 3 a.m. in the morning because he wasn't feeling too well and he needed to go out for a walk, which pretty much meant that I had to reschedule my run from the morning to noon. But that was no big deal. The second challenge that I had to face in week 1 was staying in zone 2. So the first week consisted of 4 runs with a total distance of 30 kilometers, broken into a 6-kilometer run, 8-kilometer run, another 6-kilometer run, and then one long run that is actually scheduled for tomorrow, which would be 10 kilometers long. For the first week, I wanted to focus on running all those runs in zone 2. Zone 2 is pretty much running or jogging at a pace where you can keep up a conversation. This helps build overall endurance and build stamina without pushing your body too hard. Throughout the first year of running, I was never really good at staying in zone 2. I don't know if it was ego or lack of discipline, but I never really focused too much on staying in that zone. So going into this training block, I'm trying to be as disciplined as possible when it comes to easy runs and try to really stay in zone 2 when it's meant to be a zone 2 run. So this is pretty much how the first week went for me staying in zone 2. My average heart rate for this run was 146 beats per minute, which is not bad, but it's not in zone 2, so I knew I had to improve that a little bit. The second run of this training block was an 8K run where I tried so hard to stay in zone 2, but overall completely messed it up. My average heart rate for this run was at 160, which is way above zone 2. So to summarize, the second workout, I completely failed staying in zone 2. I wanted to make sure that I'm gonna do better for my third workout of this training block. So I tried the run-walk method. Pretty much means that when my heart rate was hitting 145 beats per minute, I just stopped running and I continued walking. While walking, I would wait for my heart rate to go down all the way to 135 beats per minute, and then I would pick up the pace again and just start running again. I'm having a little bit of a hard time staying in zone 2, so I'm taking a lot of breaks, or a lot of walk breaks, just to get my heart rate down again to zone 2. But it gets a little frustrating at times, not gonna lie. By staying consistent with this run-walk method, I managed to finish the 6K with an average heart rate of 139, which is exactly in zone 2. Great success. So what did I learn from these 3 workouts? Workout number 1, I was doing alright, but not too well. Workout number 2, I really have to find something to keep my heart rate down and stay in zone 2. And the third workout really taught me how I can stay in zone 2 when it comes to easy runs, which is a very simple solution, the run-walk method. So with this insight of how to run easy and stay in zone 2, I'm feeling super pumped to go into week 2. So week 2 will also consist of 4 workouts again with a total distance of 32 kilometers. The first run will be a 6-kilometer run. I'll probably make this an easy run. The second run of week 2 is an 8K run where I will be doing a progressive run, building up my pace from a slower pace all the way to my goal race pace. The third workout would be 6 kilometers with hill repeats, but I will be switching it up with 100-meter sprints on a track. So for next week's episode, I'm excited to be doing my first running workout on a track and also be doing my first 100-meter sprint workout. And I'll make sure to bring you guys along. If you don't want to miss out on next week's episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. See you next week.